Okay, so today's topic is adding guide tones to a melody. Some people would think of this as chord melody. I don't really think of this concept as chord melody. It's kind of a poor man's chord melody, I guess you could call it. Chord melody to me is more like when you're playing ballads and you're playing fancy chords with a melody on top, right? But this is a tool that you can use when you're on a gig and you're playing trio especially, and there's no one comping for you, there's no piano player. And if you're just playing the melody, that could be kind of weak. You want chords as well, right? And it's very difficult to play a melody and chords at the same time on this instrument. Whereas a piano player obviously can do that easily. They play the melody with the right hand and they just play the chords with the left hand. So this style of playing, I guess, comes from players like Lenny Bro, where you play the guide tones instead of a whole chord beneath the melody. So what is the guide tones? What are the guide tones? Basically, the third and the seventh of the chord is the most usual way to think of guide tones. It could be other things too, but for this exercise, let's just think of the guide tones as the third and the seventh of the chord. And you need to download this page. So it's the A section of In Your Own Sweet Way we're working on here, right? By Brubeck. So I'm gonna play the melody without the guide tones just one time here. I got my little backing track here. Thanks, Jerry Bergonzi. So this is what it's gonna sound like. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm sure you've heard that song. So now we want to add chords to this. And guide tones, again, the third and seventh. If I play only the guide tones without the melody, it sounds like this. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I added some stuff there, but basically just the third and the seventh of each chord. Now we want to put this together. So the idea here is to divide the hand into a band. So these two, I'm not giving you the finger here, but these two fingers are gonna play the guide tones. The two inside fingers and the outer fingers, for you metal players out there, these two are gonna play the melody. So we're gonna try to stick to that as much as possible, but it might not always be possible. But if I do that, it looks something like this, right? So I play the melody, and then these two fingers take the chord tones, melody with the index, then I move the two middle fingers or the two inside fingers. Okay, so what I'm doing in this case, I'm playing the guide tones on the 5th and the 4th string only, right? With these two fingers. You could do it on other strings, set of strings as well. You could do it on the bottom 2 strings, which is kind of cool. You don't want to go too low though if you do that, because it gets kind of muddy down there. But I like to do it on these two strings, like the A and the D string. Okay, and then I play the melody on the top two strings. Melody, pinky, right? Guide tones. It's a pretty easy concept, not necessarily so easy to do. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna run into some fingering problems here, especially when you get to the B flat major. Here, actually that's not the problem, it's the next chord. That's a kind of an awkward fingering, so I abandon my rule of thumb, no pun intended, and just go like, use the index finger to grab the guide tones as well. And then when I arrive at the, what is it, let's see here, A flat minor, G flat 7, G flat major, here too, the C flat major 7 in bar 6. There too, it's too difficult to stick to that concept of using the fingers. So you try to be as consistent as possible, but when it's not possible, you use different fingers for playing the guide tones. Then in the sheet, the guide tones are just played as half notes. Obviously, you want to add rhythm to it. But you can practice it just playing half note first. Sorry. Then you add rhythm to it. Think of it as a piano player, while they're adding the shots, the chord hits with the left hand, I guess it is. Another problem that's gonna occur if you studied jazz harmony is that sometimes you have the root in the melody, B flat, and if you're playing the 3rd and the 7th below the melody note, which is the root of the chord, you get this awkward flat 9th sound, which a lot of theory books tell you not to use. Right? That's a no-no in jazz theory. I don't think so. I like that sound. Plus, it resolves. So I don't see a problem there, but it could be a good idea to sometimes maybe use the 6th instead of the 7th when you're playing major chords, 7 chords. So then it would be or you could play 4ths, like so you don't always have to stick to this concept, but it's a really good exercise, and I think it's really helpful when you're playing in a jazz trio situation as a guitar player to have this literally under your fingers. So good luck, and let me know if this works out for you.
1, 2, 3, 4.